What's up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of Raw and Real with Ash. It's been a crazy 6 months. The whole 2020 has been like we're in an episode of freaking Black Mirror. With all the protests and everything, things are still happening. Justice still needs to be served. It's been 93 days since Breonna Taylor's murder has happened, and nothing has happened to the killers. There was another young woman, 19 years old. She was kidnapped, found and molested, found 4 days later. So, body on the road. There have been young black men who have been found hanging from a tree. Still an issue, a huge issue. I want to encourage you guys to really not give up the fight, not give up learning, not give up fighting for justice and fighting for our people, our black brothers and sisters, because, they're our brothers and sisters. And we fight for them. And we have that privilege, so we're going to continue to fight for them. And I just think it's important that you continue to talk about it in your communities and you continue to raise awareness and bring awareness, to your families, to your friends. If you catch them doing something that's a little like, low-key racist or prejudice, or if they're doing stuff, appropriating things, and you just gotta call them out. You gotta talk about it. It's not right. We gotta make a change and be the change. The change for future generations, our children. We have to fight together, not against one another. But today, we are going to talk about more anxiety stuff, because let me tell y'all, this stuff is never going to go away. You can always manage it, but it's not just going to be like you're going to wake up one day and be like, oh my God, it's gone. Nah. I like to think that, though, because there are days where I feel so amazing, and then something will happen later, and I'm like, okay, here we go back down that little track again. But what I wanted to touch on today was compassion, because compassion is a huge part in anxiety and depression. Anxiety and depression are really lonely roads to walk on. And most of the time we're on them by ourselves, because no one understands what we're going through. No one really understands the depth of what it is. No one is really compassionate. I mean, people are understanding in the way that they want to care for you. But, sometimes we get people saying like, oh, snap out of it, you'll be fine. Or what do you have to be sad about? Or what do you have to, it's like, it's not really how it works. Because if I could just really be done with it, you think, I wouldn't have to be dealing with it. So we have to have self-compassion. And self-compassion is the same thing as self-love. You have to love yourself. You have to do things for yourself. You have to take care of yourself. You cannot judge yourself. You cannot get mad at yourself. You need to acknowledge what it is that you're doing and how you're feeling, but don't say like rude things to yourself. Don't call yourself stupid, or why am I like this, or you deserve all of this. The negative things that you say to yourself, your brain ingests, and it continues to replay over and over again. And that's awful, because then you start to believe it. Our brains are so powerful. We have about 60,000 thoughts a day. About 80 to 90% of those thoughts are negative. Okay? You have to train your mind to be positive and think positively, because there's so much negativity around us and stuff that goes on in the world that it's kind of hard for us to be like, oh yeah, this is going to be great. Because I'm not even going to lie. There's times where I'm like, it's funny, like if you meet somebody new and let's say you've been screwed over 50 million times in the past, and then you meet someone new and it's like, they're going to be just like the rest, like, oh my God. And I've had to stop myself from projecting that onto other people, because then I'm creating a negative environment. And that's not fair to me for bringing about that negativity into like my life and my headspace, You got to keep those positive vibes, good vibes all around you all the time. And it's like so cliche, because people are like, oh, good vibes, positive vibes, good vibes. No. It's not cliche. It's what you need. You need that positivity. You need those good vibes. You don't want negativity. You don't want that negative energy, because that negative energy will drain you. If there are things that your friends are doing that you don't want to do, or, you need to separate yourself from, then by all means, there's no problem in doing that. You have to put yourself first. As well as we have to be compassionate towards other people. Other people deserve compassion as well. Empathetic, sympathetic, being able to relate with people, being able to understand people, if someone needs a hug, you know, you can just tell because they just crave like a, it's just like a, I don't know, like a bear hug, you know, how it's like really huge and like it just feels so like relaxing. Hugs literally kill stress because it just gives you a sense of love and just a sense of care, and you know, you feel really great. And we just need to spread more love and more positivity and more compassion, you know, in our love lives, in our homes, with our family, around the world, because the negative energy and the hate is not doing anything for us. And you know, by not being self-compassionate and not being compassionate at all, your depression and anxiety can get worse because they're both very emotional things. They're two things stem from emotion. It's usually from traumatic events that you've been through and then the emotion that comes with it. Like being anxious is a lot of worry, fear. You're thinking about the past, you're thinking about the future, you're not in present moment, which is why I harp so hard on y'all that it's so important to be in present moment, literally right here, right now. A skill I know is one mindfully, which means focusing on one thing at a time. So for example, you're doing the dishes, instead of thinking the dishes as a whole, you just think of one plate, washing one plate at a time, setting it aside, or you know, washing one plate, rinsing it, and then putting it in the dishwasher, one mindfully. Like I'm thinking right now, not about the whole process of making my videos, but just about what I'm saying in this video right now. So that's also really important, you know, to be one mindfully, focus on one thing, don't judge yourself, be compassionate with yourself. There's a quote I want to share with you guys that I have on my phone. It's my background, and it says, respira, aléjate. Si tiene que volver, volvería. Y si no, recuerda esto. Todo lo bueno está por llegar. Meaning, breathe. Take a step back. If it's going to come back to you, if it's meant for you, it's going to happen. And if not, remember, the best is yet to come. Because, you know, whether it's a relationship, no matter if it's the next day, no matter if it's with your family, no matter if it's finding a job, what's meant for you will be meant for you. And if you don't get what you wanted, that just means that there's something better coming your way. And, you know, you really have to manifest that positive energy, those positive vibrations coming to you, because it's really helpful at the end of the day. And I know it's hard. I know it takes a lot of practice. Trust me, I've had to learn a lot. Also with your self-esteem too. My self-esteem used to be awful when I was younger. And my actions would dictate that because my friends would even notice. And they'd talk to me and be like, no, like I don't even do that. But then I had to like really wake up and realize and see that what I was doing was not, you know, not what I should be. And over the years, I've had to really grow and be compassionate towards myself so I could get that self-love, and then I could be secure and not worry, because insecurities and all that stuff is literally horrible. Your anxiety can feed on that because you're constantly overthinking about if you're doing something wrong, if this is good, if this is bad, you know. It's just a lot that goes with it. So I just wanted to kind of touch on those points with you guys because it's a really crazy time right now, and it's a hard time for a lot of people. So I just want to remind you to be compassionate, be patient, be caring. If all this stuff is bringing you anxiety, take deep breaths, focus on the task you're doing, meditate. Just focus on your breath going in and out, and it will calm you down. Things like that are essential for even if you don't suffer from anxiety. And there's my dog. That's where we're going to leave it today. I hope you guys have a great weekend and a great Father's Day. And I'll see you next week.